I am happy to address the IPS probationers and SI trainees. I understand that you have just had an opportunity to see how the police functions during a period of pandemic and to get acquainted with the various ways in which the force deals with the challenges posed by COVID-19. This is a millennium experience. I understand that you have done excellent job at the police stations, like reaching out to the quarantined and the senior citizens. You must have visited guest laborers camps, communicated with them, distributed food items to them, and conducted awareness classes for them. I appreciate and congratulate you for doing all these good works. The essence of democratic policing is winning public trust and reducing and detecting crimes, making use of this trust. You have noticed that once you earn the trust of people, they listen to your lawful orders willingly. Only in a very few situations you need to use force. A welfare state takes care of all sections of the society. You have noticed the working of community kitchens run by our panchayats. You must have also seen the robust PDS of Kerala distributing rice and groceries free of cost to the needy in a very efficient manner. Avoiding poverty and hunger at any cost is the bounden duty of a responsible government. Yes, we have done it efficiently. We could avoid social tensions that must have triggered off by hunger. Police played a major role in this. I would like to specially mention the student police cadet program Feed One Uruvayar Ootam, which distributed 5 lakh food packets. Migrant workers, whom we prefer to call as guest workers, are treated really as guests in Kerala. Avoiding tension among them is an extremely important police job. Meticulous planning for their welfare and careful collection of intelligence with a view to detect disruptive elements trying to create unrest among them were the keys to the success on this front. Constant vigil and communication are required in future also. Health department in Kerala has a glorious history. During the Nipah virus outbreak, also our health department could plan well. During the pandemic of COVID-19, also same is the case. Health and police departments work together to ensure that those who are under observation are strictly adhering to the norms. Grassroots level health workers, named ASHA workers and Janamaitri beat officers work in tandem with each other. Though the task is tremendous, the teams have done a wonderful job. The pandemic has made us to stick on to new norms like social distancing, wearing the mask, washing hands intermittently, etc. Police officers have to lead by strictly following the norms. Then they have to implement the same. Any social gathering or public activity without following the laws are criminal in nature, which need to be dealt with firmly. I have noticed that the police force has generally kept this aspect in mind. They strictly implemented what they preached. This had helped us to keep our state safe. Policing our borders with other states, our airports, etc. also has become hard task for the police. We have succeeded in such policing aspects only due to police professionalism, leadership and their ability to gain the trust of the community. This is an example for any police force to follow. You being the leaders in the police, your conduct in the offices and outside the offices should be such that the members of the society will look upon you as role models. Police, being a personnel oriented organization, functioning in a hierarchical manner. You have to comply with the words and directions of your seniors and remain disciplined. The government issues directions to the state police chief and you have to comply with the orders of them to ensure safety and security and public order in the society as intended by the government. Keeping up the morale of the rank and file is the duty of the leaders. The project named Protecting the Protectors, involving the police hospitals, must be utilized to keep the police personnel safe. I would like all of you to closely watch the community and understand the community well so that you will be able to serve them better. Police have to control crimes with precision. Your special attention should be on crimes against women, children and the marginalized. My advice to the trainee officers is to keep eyes and ears open always to every happening in the society. Have a heart of kindness, be friendly and helpful to people and implement laws impartially and firmly. I wish you a dutiful career which will be at the disposal of the state and the people. മെയ് 29 കേരള പോലീസ് അക്കാദമി ദിനമായി ആചരിക്കുന്നു എന്നറിയുന്നതിൽ സന്തോഷം. പോലീസിൻ്റെ ട്രെയിനിങ്ങിന് ദിശാബോധവും മികവും പകർന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഏറെ ശ്ലാഘനീയമായ പ്രവർത്തനമാണ് ഇന്ന് അക്കാദമി നടത്തുന്നത്. ജനസേവനോന്മുഖമായ പോലീസിംഗ് സംസ്കാരത്തിൻ്റെ പരിശീലന കേന്ദ്രമായി ഇത് മാറണം. സ്ത്രീകളും പുരുഷന്മാരും അടങ്ങുന്ന SI ട്രെയിനികൾ, ട്രൈബൽ സ്പെഷ്യൽ റിക്രൂട്ട്സ്, കോസ്റ്റൽ വാർഡന്മാർ എന്നിവർ സമഗ്രമായ പരിശീലനം പൂർത്തീകരിച്ച് അക്കാദമിയിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തിറങ്ങുന്നു. ഇവർ നാളെ പോലീസിനും നാടിനാകെയും അഭിമാനകരമായ സേവനം കൊണ്ട് ശ്രദ്ധേയരാകേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. പരിശീലനം നേടുന്നവരുടെ പ്രവർത്തന മികവാകും അക്കാദമിയുടെ ഉരക്കല്ല്. ഫോറൻസിക് സയൻസ് MSc കോഴ്സ് ആരംഭിച്ചതും വിവിധ കോഴ്സുകൾ സർവകലാശാലകളുമായി ചേർന്ന് ആരംഭിച്ചതും വലിയ നേട്ടങ്ങളാണ്. 2018 വെള്ളപ്പൊക്കത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ഗവേഷണ വിഭാഗം തയ്യാറാക്കിയ പുസ്തകം നാം പ്രസിദ്ധീകരിക്കുകയുണ്ടായി. ഈ ലോക്ക്ഡൗൺ കാലത്തും ഓൺലൈൻ ട്രെയിനിങ് നടത്താൻ കേരള പോലീസ് അക്കാദമി ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചു. ട്രെയിനികൾ പോലീസ് സ്റ്റേഷനുകളിൽ ജനമൈത്രി പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങളിൽ ഏർപ്പെട്ടു. അക്കാദമിയിലെ ആധുനിക ട്രെയിനിങ് സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ ലോകോത്തരമാണ്. ഇവയൊക്കെ ഭംഗിയായി വിനിയോഗിക്കാൻ ട്രെയിനർമാർക്കും ട്രെയിനികൾക്കും കഴിയണം. പോലീസ് സയൻസ് കോൺഗ്രസ്, ശ്വാനസേനകൾക്കായുള്ള ദേശീയ സെമിനാർ, ഔട്ട്ഡോർ ട്രെയിനിങ്, പ്രൊഡക്റ്റീവ് പോലീസിംഗ് തുടങ്ങിയവയ്ക്കായുള്ള ദേശീയ സെമിനാറുകൾ ഇവയൊക്കെ കൊണ്ട് സമ്പന്നമായ ഒരു വർഷമാണ് കടന്നുപോയത്. മികവിൻ്റെ കേന്ദ്രമാക്കി അക്കാദമിയെ മാറ്റുന്ന ഓരോ പ്രവർത്തനവും പോലീസ് സേനയ്ക്ക് മുതൽക്കൂട്ടാവുകയാണ്. ഇത്തരം നേട്ടങ്ങൾ നിലനിർത്താനും മെച്ചപ്പെടുത്താനും കഴിയട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. എല്ലാവർക്കും പോലീസ് അക്കാദമി ദിന ആശംസകൾ.
My dear friends, joining as Sub-Inspector of Police in Kerala Police is an honor. You are going to occupy a very important position now onwards. You will work in a police station as Sub-Inspector of Police. You will get promoted and work as an Inspector of Police and a SHO in a police station. Subsequently, you may become a DYSP, then become an SP and so on. You may work also in special units like crime branch, state special branch, in commando units. We have opportunity for every one of you. The most important thing is that you have to take the training very seriously. Sometimes, according to the attitude and aptitude, a particular portion of the training may not be liked by one or two or three sub-inspector trainees. It has happened in IPS also. But subsequently, you will realize that the course which you never liked has become very important. I'll give you one of my examples. I never understood or never took that much of interest in understanding criminal law in the National Police Academy during my training. But now I can teach law in even law colleges. I realized subsequently the law is very crucial and knowledge of law is very important for a police officer. So, you, notwithstanding your liking or disliking, take serious note of all the classes which are held in the Kerala Police Academy or through online. Your keenness, your interest is very crucial to shape you. Many of the things which are being taught online or in the classrooms or outside or outdoor are meant to make a model. It is model teaching. But life is not like a model. When you become a field officer, there will be a lot of variations where you have to use your experience, your common sense to get over the problem. But the bottom line is that you cannot transgress the law. Law is supreme for a law enforcement officer like you. So, understand the law, love the law, make it as your best friend from now onwards. You have to understand technology because we are living in a world of technology. Now, with the COVID-19, everybody has realized the importance of technology. As technology was there, we could teach you online. As technology was there, we could trace primary and secondary contacts of a COVID patient. Because technology is there, you can buy things online. Similarly, many new technology will come up during your career. Knowing about the technology and using the technology is very, very important. So from the day one, understand the fundamentals of technology, its use, how it is used in law and order situations, how it is used in investigation, how it is used in traffic control, how it is used in combats. All these have to be understood by you. So, your interest in technology, in law is very, very important for you and for the department. You have been exposed to an unprecedented situation like COVID-19 in our state. You have worked as volunteers, you have worked as a police officer during this testing time. You have done very well. And I am sure you will do well. This particular experience will be very useful in your life. I only wish such a situation never happened in your career. It's a very difficult situation, but we could actually manage with our common sense, with our camaraderie, with our collectiveness, and with our responsibilities. So all my best wishes, do well. God bless you all. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Today I'll be talking about policing during the pandemic, an internal war. Winston Churchill was asked in 1940, "What is your aim?" He answered, "The aim is victory. However big the terror be, however hard and long the fight be." Policing the pandemic is not new to humanity. Human race has seen various epidemic outbreaks. For example, the bubonic plague of the late 18th century, the Spanish flu of 1918-19, which was hit all over the world, etc. Emerging victorious out of the pandemic is one of the greatest of challenges for the police. Policing during the pandemic can be seen from 4 different angles. Number 1, enforcing the pandemic laws firmly but minimizing the conflicts. Second, upkeeping police morale, which needs an efficient police leadership. Third, community engagement, earning their trust, encompassing all marginalized and the weak. Fourth, engagement with other agencies, identifying and facilitating essential services, avoiding conflicts with sister agencies. Have you heard the history of the Spanish flu? Do you know why the Spanish flu is called the Spanish flu? The Spanish flu actually broke out when the World War I was happening. The Allied forces were very busy with the war and they downplayed the pandemic. Whereas Spain, which is a neutral country, they reported everything as normal and they only used to have the statistics and publication of the news regarding the pandemic. So naturally, the influenza's name became Spanish flu. We forgot about the 1918-19 pandemic. The memory was so short-lived. During those times also, policing during the pandemic used to be an extremely difficult task. Right now, in the 21st century also, we are finding it a very difficult challenge. So let us see what is the role of police during the pandemic. First of all, the police role is to enforce the pandemic laws. So there could be a new law for the pandemic which has been done in Kerala, the 2020 Epidemic Act. Whereas in general, if we look at the pandemic laws, a training need to be given to how to implement the pandemic laws to all the police personnel. So that is number one responsibility, and immediately we have to plunge into implementing these laws. Right now we have a lot of technological gadgets to implement the law. So while we are implementing this, we have to ensure that the citizens' rights are preserved. The data is an extremely important thing now. So we have to ensure that the data we collect is not leaked, and thus we are not implementing a police Raj, but we are only interested in implementing the pandemic laws. So that is our first responsibility, and at the same time we have to ensure that during the pandemic the rights of every section of the society is also preserved. There will be the marginalized, there will be the women and children, and during these difficult times there is every chance that human trafficking may escalate, and offenses against children, women, domestic violence, etc. may escalate. The cyber patrolling need to be done, because the cyberspace could become criminals' space. So these are all extremely important. Similarly, financial frauds may happen, that too over cyberspace. So all these aspects we have to take care. So implementing the pandemic laws is the first responsibility, and at the same time keeping the morale of the police force intact is extremely important. So a war has to be won without losing its values. So our values, the police personnel, they have to be protected. Kerala, in the initial stage itself, implemented a project named Protecting the Protectors. So personal hygiene, office hygiene, the protocols for all these things, these were all in place without losing time. And protecting the police personnel's families also is taken care. And also the mask, the sanitizers, etc. required, even the PPEs when it comes to the borders or the seaports and airports. These are the most vulnerable points as far as danger of contracting the disease is concerned. So, police personnel are first given training on all these aspects, and it is the leader's duty, the police leader's duty, to ensure that the policeman's morale is kept and none of the personnel are infected. So that is the greatest responsibility of any police leader, to ensure that the members of the force are not infected by the virus. What happens when sometimes our personnel are infected on a large scale? What happened during the Spanish flu in Chicago is an example. Enforcing the pandemic law was the responsibility of the police, but 500 policemen failed to report for duty. So these things happen only when the morale of the force is not high. Here, all the protective measures have to be taken, and we have to supply them with the medicine. We have all the telemedicine facilities, telecounseling facilities even for the families. We have to utilize all these facilities which have been made available here. So any police leadership gives lot of importance to the SOP on how to deal with the public during a pandemic. So SOP for everything is required. How to arrest a person, how to allow a person entry into any police office. For every small aspect, we have a protocol in place. So we have to stick on to all these protocols. So these are the extremely important responsibilities of police leadership at the top level as well as the cutting edge level. Top level also, I say, because even senior officers are deputed to different red zones, etc. And their leadership, when they are leading from the front also, they have done it without losing the overall perspective. Without losing the overall perspective, leading from the front. That is what is required as far as police leadership is concerned. So, this is an extremely important aspect of pandemic policing. And then let us look into the community engagement aspect. Engaging the community in a very effective manner only will win their trust. In Kerala, for example, we have the Janamaitri Suraksha project, our community policing project in place for several years now. So the beat officers visiting the house to ensure that quarantine is not jumped. So this only is done with enough trust. whether it is extending the community kitchen facilities or extending the help to the senior citizens through a special Janamaitri project, the Prashanti. So all of this earns more public trust, and engaging the community and getting the trust is extremely important to win the war. We have to know through our intelligence what is happening in the migrant labor camps, what is happening in the tribal areas. So what are the problems of the marginalized? So for that, we have to constantly engage with the community. When we are doing all these things with enthusiasm, by empowering the personnel, the beat officers, the police personnel at the cutting edge level, we have won the war half, no doubt. And the fourth aspect, engagement with other agencies. Engagement with other agencies also extremely important. The local self-government, the health department, all these are extremely important. They all have very big role in containing the pandemic. So we have to work in tandem with each other. So we should not have conflict with any of our sister agencies. So having a working relationship with all other departments is also very, very important, and this engagement only will give us a holistic perspective, so that while we are dealing with the pandemic, we are taking all the government agencies and even non-government agencies and the entire system along with us. That is the only way how we will be able to win the war, and it is our aim to win the war, however long the fight may be, however hard the fight may be. So let us all work together. So let us all keep the morale of all our personnel up. Let us all ensure that none of our personnel are infected. Let us win the war.